What is going on, everybody? Jimbo Thick here. We are back with more Emberfell Whispers from the Stars. I'm, of course, your GM, your DM for the night, Jimbo Thick. We're joined by the full cast and the crew. Everybody, if you want to do some brief introductions, start off with, yeah, we're pretty much, just for a minute. You know what? Fuck it. No introductions then. You know? Whatever. We're just going to do this now. Okay, so last we left off, the White Skill Band, as I have named them, since they didn't choose a name for
Rogor's Roughnecks.
80 episodes or something. We had found themselves in a interesting place as they had made the long commute from Moog's final resting place. Well, may he rest and live. To Silver Durai, home of one Zunalin, or should I say Krentel, as it was revealed. But you guys have all found your way here. In so doing, you were kind of not necessarily assaulted, but checked over at the border, as apparently there has been strange goings-ons within the city itself, and far beyond that, where all of you were found relatively clean, with the exception of your traveling companion, Niarla, who was said to have had some kind of strange affliction. They called it something else. We'll see if you guys wrote it down. Regardless, though, you were allowed to talk with the previous, well, the now commander of the above ground garrison, as Silver Durai is split between the above and the below, with the majority of its denizens of full-blood drow nature living below, and many of the more half-breeds and lesser caste living above to mingle with the plebeians that live above ground, yourselves included. And in the company of the God, I can't. Why am I having? I'm having a hard time saying it. Von Rea. God, there it goes. It came out. Von Rea Devala. That was the Knight Garrison's commander's name. Had accused, well, not so much accused, but had let it be known that she had a history and believed that Krentel's family was up to no good, and a bang upon the existence of their society. However, she did have use of Zune and his party, more specifically Tristan Varel, who was roped into a haphazard investigation into this string of mysterious deaths that are above the norm, even for a town saturated by political intrigue and assassination. And you guys were given a brief stint in the local garrison jail. You had about a week that you had to be held for political reasons, of course. It wasn't a personal grudge in any way. And after the week was up, you were all released, given your things, and you were given free reign of the above ground section. Do you guys have any questions before we get into where you currently are at in the city about any of that? No. From there, from upon your release, you decided to visit the very prestigious market, specifically the Underdark Exchange, which is a massive, sprawling market that is the majority of the above-ground section of Silver Durai. Upon walking its tight corridors and various passages of stalls, tents, all manners of shops, some of them permanent, most of them semi-permanent in nature. You had passed by a smithy, specifically a place called the Weeping Furnace, where you purchased some arms and armor from a very interesting lass by the name of Naceris Felis, a half-drow female, looked to be rather strong, and had in fact may or may not have after a few not necessarily pestering, but a few inquiries into a elaborate sword that was on display, offered to possibly in exchange for materials, possibly allow the party to be lended said weapon if they would so deliver. And as well, Rogar was roped into a possible meeting of the blacksmith tonight at the local tavern. So we'll see how that goes. Shortly after that, you stumbled into what is known as the Yalrak Trading Company, run by the magnificent Yalrak Mizuran himself, the infamous half-drow, who ran a large tent that smelled of like basically kind of like the zoo, various livestock, animal kind of smells coming out of it. And within, you found a plethora of beasts and humanoids of different classes that may or may not be available for purchase. Some of those being kobolds, which Zune did buy a kobold. Feel free to name it at any point. You have it in a bag. It's kind of upset, wriggling around right now like a goldfish that you bought at the fair. There was plenty of things for sale. There were in fact contracts for indentured servants, humanoids of various natures, ogres, a crag cat, giant riding lizards for sale, as well as a vein of core spawn crawlers, which Rogar was disgusted with and wanted nothing to do with. But that's neither here nor there. Upon leaving the trading company, taking in the smells of the Underdark Exchange, the sprawling market, a multitude of languages are being spoken by many races, intermingling with the prominent drow population. The smell of shit, body odor, cooking food, and burning incense make for a unique bombardment of the senses as you take in your surroundings. What would you guys like to do?
I have one quick question.
Yes, Velree.
Did y'all do all your leveling up, like do your feats and whatnot? Can I do a roll for the feat or no?
No, we didn't do those.
Okay, just making sure. All right. Okay.
But you did level up.
Okay, cool.
And you should probably reset your sheet if it's not long rested all the way.
No, I did do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what would you guys like to do at this point?
I forgot what time of day it was. Was it still daytime?
You're looking at like around lunch-ish at this point.
So we basically need to kill some time.
Yes. If you're
until nighttime, I think.
Depending on you, whatever you guys would like to do. You were giving a place that you could investigate.
Go to the bar.
Yes.
We're meeting Rogar's side piece later.
Yeah, I thought that was a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
I thought it was in the evening. I thought, but
No, you're right. It was evening. Well, I'm going to take this kobold around the side of the tent real quickly and release it.
You're going to release it?
Yeah, and just say, if you want to get revenge, you need to be a lot smarter about it.
So you just dump it out of the bag right next to the tent?
Yeah, no, I appreciated its balls. The fact that it would just shove its butt out and shit on the floor right in front of people that could easily kill it. So, I mean, that has to be rewarded in some way. Right. But,
You dump it out, it scrambles around, gets a couple feet away from you.
Get your shit together. Need to organize better. Figure it out, and then I'm going to walk away.
You walk away. It very quickly disappears from view.
Zune inspires Kobold Revolution.
Okay.
I mean, I give 0 shits, but...
All right.
Only the strong survive.
You guys are all taking in the sights and sounds currently. Is there a destination in mind, or are we just going to kind of wander around the market?
Yeah, unless there's more stuff people want to buy, potions or whatever.
We should probably buy some potions.
Just healing potions would be great.
Smart. Let's do that.
You want to try to find a potion shop in the exchange. Okay. Why don't we give let's see here. Who's a fan of the above ground? Tristan Varel is.
Yes.
Why don't you give me a investigation check, Trist?
Did it do it? Did it roll? Oh, there it goes. 23.
23. Trist, as you guys begin to wander around the market, with the 23, you pick up on pretty quickly. You remember a small alley not too far from here. Not necessarily an alley, but a small little branch off of one of the main tributary sections of the market as you're wandering through. As you peel off to the side, you see that there are several stalls set up here. One in particular stands out a little bit more than the rest. It stands out so because most of what you see down this way appear to be what you would know, Trist, as the equivalent of like a snake oil salesman. And there's just lines up with all kinds of strange tonics and things people are trying to pitch to you guys.
Yes.
Strange drugs and other things that they're trying to push on everyone. And one in particular, Trist, stands out. Mostly because it is a cloaked and like deeply cloaked and hooded figure with kind of like a gnarled hand that kind of reaches out and grabs a hold of your wrist, Trist, as you try to walk past. Oh, you smell of magic. Come to Vestani's. We sell all the fine products here.
I will turn around to my party. Now, if y'all want, you'll get your toes wet in the city of glass. I suggest we come here for your first experience. We'll go to the Red Hourglass later and go all in. But for now, follow me.
Well, many strange ones here, I see. Well, what can I do for you? I have many poultices, potions, and concoctions of various origin.
I believe my associates are going to be looking for something of a more of a healing remedy, and if you happen to have any psychedelics.
I see. Well, I could do a bit of both if you'd like.
Like healing potions that are also psychedelics? Is this...
You'll find out.
Best of both worlds.
I would prefer simply healing potions.
She begins to kind of, her hands kind of like glide over like some, there's like a small case in front of you, like a kind of like a glass case, and within this kind of like shabby tent structure that you're in, all kinds of like baubles and knickknacks kind of lining along the sides of it, strange glass sculptures and things. But as she moves her hands over the case, her hands drift over something that no one can see. And then after a moment, it's almost like she's touching the air. And then you watch as she opens something and there's an interior. As if there's like a small chest that she opens up that is invisible. She opens it up. Yes, let's see here. Well, this isn't free. What do you offer in trade?
What's in the bag of holding? Pull it out.
as I said before, the bag of holding holds very little besides gold.
Yes. Everybody's currency.
Yes. I do have my original greatsword. Are you guys hearing the echo?
Yes.
One second.
I think it's him. Yeah. Look how much anger there is.
What the fuck?
Well,
Hmm.
your friend appears to have petrified himself. He's stuck in a
He's-
strange motion in
Yeah,
that bag.
this is all new to him.
Yes, well, if you wish to have some kind of healing poultice, bubbles, I don't sell the standard riffraff, if that's what you're in for. You should go consult the garrison if you want some of the little small things.
no,
I
we
only
don't want the
Deal in
standard.
potent magics here.
Yes. Yeah, we want the good stuff. We have gold.
She produces a salve. Kind of like it's like a small container that you kind of like twist the top to come off, and there's like a rubbing salve in it. When she twists it off, it smells of kind of like Ben Gay. Like you get that little like potent minty smell. As she opens it up. This will restore you in many ways.
Yeah. And what like if you become poisoned or
Oh no, much better than that, my friend. Much better.
in terms of unconscious or
Well, let me show you. Give me your hand.
put my hand out.
She takes your hand and she produces a cleaver next to her. Do you remove your hand, Trist?
No.
She chops off 2 of your fingers.
It goes with my pinky.
He's freaking out. She chops it off. Hold still, damn it!
Roger pulls out his sword, you know.
Oh, fuck.
That's great.
Oh, God. Before you freak out, Trist. Now, first off, Trist, do you try to pull your hand away at this point?
No, because I'm assuming it's going to be
She's
like
holding
an
you.
illusion.
It ain't no illusion. Your hand, your fingers are there, and there's blood spilling out all over the top of this table. But her grip is like ironclad.
Yeah.
They're like ironclad on your arm right now. She takes some of the salve and smears it into the tips of the raw stumps of your finger. It burns. She does. Put that away, you dumb oaf, she says to Rogar with his sword out. And she grabs Trist's decapitated fingers and mashes them back onto his hand. There is a searing smell that wafts upon everyone. And within moments, Trist, suddenly you can move your fingers again, and they have been reknitted together.
Shake it. Like I said, bro, got nothing to be afraid of down here.
Yes. That is a small taste. The jar's only good for extreme wounds.
Now, I'm guessing what you're showing us is of the low end, or are you starting off at the high end and working your way down?
I trade in nothing but quality goods.
Put this one on my head.
This is a regenerative ointment. As long as you're not dead, it will put anything back together.
Is there like a timeline if someone say they got decapitated that I could smear this on?
You wish to raise the dead, young one? Well, I've got something for you here. She reaches into her chest and produces a small shrunken head. It looks like a goblin's head that's like the size of like a bird skull now. She pulls it out. This will bring someone back. A little different. I think that one knows what I mean. She points at Razire. But bring them back nonetheless.
How much and how different?
What do you have in trade?
Well,
Uh,
hi the party real fast.
we have lots of gold and lots of crimson eye.
I trade not in gold, such paltry things.
Oh, no.
Drugs.
Drugs.
Drugs. Ha! Nothing I couldn't get myself. It sounds like you do not have the necessary means to shop here, then.
Oh, is she
Do-
wanting the stuff? The plates. Just for just to humor myself, I will pull out one of my soul coins.
A soul coin?
Soul coin.
You pull out a soul coin.
Is that what it's called? A soul coin?
You're
Yeah.
holding a soul coin, Trist, in your bare hand. Okay. Trist
yeah, it's a soul.
pulls
Yeah, it's called
out
a soul coin.
a soul coin. Literally a trapped humanoid soul. The currency of the hells.
I got 6 of them, baby.
You pull it out, and you cannot see her face whatsoever. She immediately goes to snatch it out of your hand. Trist.
Let's see.
You kind of pull it back. She,
Uh-uh.
Perhaps we can make a deal then. How many of those coins do you have?
How many does it take to get what you've shown us?
Depends. You give me a coin, I'll give you the ointment. A coin for the head. But 2 coins. And she produces a flask, a jar. And as she pulls it out, it's kind of like a bluish, almost formaldehyde like liquid on the inside of it. And floating in it is a large, looks like perhaps like a toenail or the tips of like a toe.
Sounds cool.
She pulls it out, and I've had this for quite some time. 2 nails for the strength of the giants of the frozen lands.
And you're selling this for 2
Nice.
coins? Or is
2.
it the whole set for 2 coins?
No. 2
Okay.
coins for just this one item.
Okay. Well, my friend here seems to be infatuated with the head. Is that correct, Zune?
And I could take it or leave it at this point.
Well, you know what? We're going to take it. We'll take the head.
She hands over the shrunken goblin head. You can add in the equivalent of a potion of reincarnation to your
Zune
items.
never turned down head.
Useful.
Reincarnation, huh?
It will bring you back, but not quite the same.
No.
But
Will not.
I'll take it. It's 2. Is it 2 jars or just 1 jar of the toe?
She has 2 jars. Well, the
toe one.
The toe is she only has 1 jar.
Okay.
She'll sell it to you for 2 coins.
Yeah, if this proves nothing else, it at least would be interesting for me to have in my wares. I'll take this as well.
And she greedily scoops up the coins, and you have a potion of frost giant's strength in your possession.
Hold, please. Someone else can shop while I add this in.
So there was no actual healing potions to be had here?
She had salves of regeneration, which if you look at regeneration, they heal you to an extreme. I believe that is a 7th or 8th level spell, I think.
Yeah, but I believe it's a kind of slow
It is
process.
slow.
Like,
It is slow.
Yeah.
Regeneration.
Yes.
It is powerful, though.
You can mend body parts back together. Lots of good stuff.
How
Well,
much for those?
She
Or
wants,
is
She wanted 1 coin for each one. She has two. She has
A
two
soul coin.
Yeah, 1 soul coin.
Right.
She has 2 salves on her right now. If this doesn't fit your fancy, then what about this? And she pulls out a small glass tincture. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like a stoppered glass bottle. All of it's made out of glass. It's all clear. There appears to be a silvery liquid swirling within it. Says, now this very special. I'd only deal in the greatest of trade for this item. If you were to take this, you would stay invisible for quite some time.
Well, what does quite some time mean?
It is a potion of greater invisibility.
Is that an hour?
It's an hour, and no matter what, you are invisible while using it, unless dispelled.
Yeah. If you're attacking, it doesn't disperse.
Mm-hmm.
Could become handy. I've got 3 coins left. So if somebody wants something, just say.
I'll let you guys decide on that.
Well,
I say buy it unless you want to use the soul coins or something else. I don't know.
Yeah, what are you trying to save those soul coins for? What were they intended for initially?
no, I was gonna barter with them if we came across more hags.
They're intended for the devil.
Well, I mean, I guess we can get whatever, but I also would like to buy an actual healing potion somewhere. I mean, that'd be cool, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't care.
But what does this look like? Does she look like she might be drow, goblin? Like, what can we tell about her from
You
her?
can give me a perception check.
And I'm not disadvantaged because we're in the Drow City.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a shitty roll.
She's very heavily cloaked. Her face is obscured. Her hand is gnarled and withered, old. Her fingernails are quite long, as you saw them as she grabbed hold of Triss' arm. But other than that, it's hard to tell, Zoom. She doesn't have green or red or purple skin, if that's what you're asking. Appears to be of a normal elven shade.
Well, I think that concludes our business here.
Very well.
Would Tristan know of someone who deals cinder?
Deals in cinder.
Deals in cinder.
Well, Trist, you did spend some time here. Cinder's illegal,
Yes.
just like many other drugs. And yes, there are plenty of places that you can get that. Your best bet for getting illegal drugs would be at the Red Hourglass.
Yes. Was that a district or was that a place?
It
Like a building?
is a place that would only be known to locals.
Okay. I think that was also going to be a nighttime jaunt.
Doesn't necessarily have to be.
Oh, well, let's go!
As you move away from the withered individual at the stall, you kept 3 coins, Trist?
Yes.
Okay. So all you guys got was the toe and
The head.
and the head. That's all you got. Okay. All right.
Self fetishes.
I need perception checks from everyone.
Can we go to the garrison first and get regular healing potions?
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what our stock is of healing potions. We're probably out.
Slow.
So Razire and Rogar, both of you notice that as you are walking away, specifically as you guys are beginning to move away from the dilapidated little tent setup that you're in, the woman puts her hand in Trist's pocket and very nimbly removes it quickly.
Rogar grabs their hand.
You try to grab her hand?
I try to grab her hand.
Okay. You're gonna have to give me a athletics check that will be opposed by her acrobatics check.
All right.
Oh my.
What's best? 17.
You reach out and catch her hand. There are 3 coins in her claws as you catch her hand. Ah! She
You
opens
have wronged us. Perhaps we should speak to Mistress Davala about your theft. No one would want to know about it. I say it in a loud voice. No one would know that this shop is run by a thief.
Oh, now, come now. There's no thieving going on. Just a little test. I wasn't going to keep it.
Let's test this regeneration potion you have one more time. As I pull out
Unhand
my
Perhaps
me,
we could
foul
answer
creature!
Vale's question about reattaching the heads.
as he does this, he throws her away.
Ah!
Know that we have shown you mercy today.
Mercy. As you walk off. Razire, since your check was so high, as you guys walk off, Razire,
Yeah.
you notice that there is a smudge on Rogar. There's a smudge along his back.
No.
It looks like it's some kind of not necessarily dirt, but something close to it, and it's across like his scales on his back, where he wouldn't notice it.
Give me just a second here. Any way I could identify that?
You're gonna just walk up and what's the plan here, Razire?
I would ask
I wear a
him.
kimono, so it'll be on my kimono, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, on the back of your kimono then.
And I would point it out to him. Friend Rogar, there's appears to be some sort of besmirchment upon your cloak.
A kimono.
Prized kimono.
You have to like
Oh no, kimono!
you'd have to like take it off to see the back of it if you were gonna do that. Disrobes. Oh god, he's back in the loincloth. Pulls it off. Several people walking by just kind of stop and watch as the giant dragonborn begins to take his clothes off in the middle of the market.
They're so uncultured.
As you just kind of, as you do
What
so,
is it?
you do so, Rogar. You look at it. It looks like it's a smudge, and it looks like almost like a handprint.
The
Mm.
black hand.
Perhaps just should inspect this, huh?
Does it have a note that says we know?
It does not.
Is
Trist.
there
It does
any
not.
meaning to it? Or
Do you want to
anything-
Trist? Trist is like done work in the city before.
Yes.
Trist, you
Okay.
would know that this is often a telltale sign that someone will mark on somebody if they wish them to have a harm inflicted upon them.
Yes.
Oh.
It's like a kick me sign. You know, just
No, it's more nefarious than that.
sign.
Get shivved.
It's more of a interesting.
Literally a target, perhaps.
Yes, quite possible.
Especially since Rogar's face is still on the posters.
Did we step outside? Like, there's a lady watching us look at his cloak and everything.
Well, funny thing, Velree, as you say that, you look back, the stall where the woman you interacted with is completely gone. There's nothing there. There's just an empty space.
Don't worry about it. Well, Rogar, maybe you should just go shirtless the rest of the time here.
Do you tell me what it's for?
Yes. I mean, he's the only Dragonborn, right?
He's the only one you've seen so far.
Yeah.
He's
I
the
mean,
only
it's not
one
like
most people have seen.
He can't blend in, so.
And he's
It's not something I can wash off, is it?
he's white.
Yes.
You attempt to wash it off, it does rub off. However,
okay.
as you rub your hand across it, your talons, Rogar, it sticks to your talons.
Ooh.
Word.
Rogar, let me try
Do you
something.
want to cast
here.
prestidigitation?
Yeah, try that.
Who has it?
Not me.
Yeah, both
I have that.
Trist.
Yes.
You just prestidigitation, and
Yeah.
whatever soiliness is removed, Rogar.
Oh,
Thank you.
well, that was
It
a good
appears
idea.
to not be magical in nature. It's just a
Goodness.
gross substance.
Perhaps the next time we see her, we
Well, kill her.
extract a toll upon her. Or perhaps we let her have some alone time with Velree.
Velree, as you said, well, kill her. You know, Rogar's still shirtless.
Hilarious.
This very courtly looking gentleman, half drow, walks up to Rogar and taps him on the shoulder as you're disrobed slightly. Sir, would you perhaps be interested in attending a party tonight?
Thank you. I have plans this evening, and I'd like to
I could
reroll.
make it worth your while.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, I am preoccupied.
With partying.
Oh,
Can we recognize this
Oh.
individual?
yeah.
how
What's this
drab.
about?
It appears to just be a person passing by. Noticed a large muscled individual with his shirt off in the market.
This could be two things, either enslavement or sex. So
Zoon's mind.
It could be both.
That's what you hear.
only two possibilities. What kind of party? Rogar, are you sure?
Mm,
I mean, it
I
could
am
be.
sure.
Okay.
Very well. And he just walks off.
Wearing robes.
There are several other individuals of similar stature and clothing nearby that he walks over to, and they both. What did he say? Sorry, boys. Maybe next time.
Damn.
They all walk off together.
Ugh.
Well, I think Rogar wanted to get some actual healing potions.
Actual
Yes.
healing potions.
I wanted to go to the garrison.
Rogar.
Okay, the one that you left earlier. That's great.
You said that's where the healing
Yep.
potions were. So that's,
Well, that's where she. Yeah, that's where she said
I
it would
mean,
be. You would know.
does Trist or Zoon know?
Trist and
about it?
Zoon were both told previously that all the healing potions are being allotted currently. They have none
Oh.
for sale.
Okay. Mm,
We're gonna have to rely on our cleric.
I'll
Well,
have to kill someone for their potions.
Well,
Or get them by more nefarious means.
Perhaps we can do both, huh?
Yeah.
I think it's to the red hourglass unless Zoon has something.
no, I have questions. I have many, many questions. All this time I thought you were a virgin. And
It's just like mind blown. Like I can't believe you know what this
Ah.
place is.
I mean, the way you handled that statue when we were back on that island, and you just looked so confused. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way you, and I'm just gonna kind of like look at Velree and look at him and be like, the way you handle a lot of situations, you just seem very reserved. So,
Well, Crintel, if I may call you that, sometimes it is best to let people assume one thing about you.
this is fair. But I just want to say, and I won't say it again, I am mildly impressed. So we're going to leave it at that, and I'm never going to say that again. So enjoy that. Savor that. Now we can go to the Red Hourglass if that's where you want it to go.
Party time.
Trist, it's party time. Is Satyr Trist here? What happened?
Exactly.
Can you invite Satyr Trist?
It doesn't work like that.
You could invite Devil Trist. He gave you permission.
What?
As you guys begin to move in the direction of the Red Hourglass, Trist's passive perception is pretty high.
Well,
I'm interested now.
were we being followed in the last episode?
We're about to find out.
What are we going to do? Huh?
Yes, we're about to find out. Razire, what's your passive perception? It should be pretty high too, I think.
Passive perception's only a 14.
14? Okay.
Yeah.
So Trist's
My insight is higher.
Your insight, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Trist's passive perception is like fucking ridiculous. What's it?
7.
Is it 24 or something, Trist?
20. Investigation's a 24.
24 is
Oh,
investigation. 20 for perception. Okay.
Wow.
With that, as you guys are moving, you do see that there is a specifically Trist will be the one that picks up on this. There has been someone tailing you since you left the Yalrak Trading Company. And it wasn't just for a quick little glance. There appears to be someone in a hood, a cloak as well, off, and they keep pretty well out of distance. They're much more of an expert than your average thug or ne'er-do-well individual in the city. You can tell this is someone that has skills. Your skills are better, and you're able to clock them. However, they do keep a very fair distance away.
Grantel, you wouldn't by chance have anyone who would be following you and in turn following us around, would you?
I think at this point we all may have someone following us. So let's not just jump to the assumption that it's me that's attracting all this unwanted attention. And I'm going to look at Rogar. Just saying. Apparently there's an entire gang that's chasing someone who shall remain nameless that nobody really clued me in on. Not really. So, but yeah, let's assume that it's me that they're following. Sure.
I just said they've been following us since we've arrived in the city. He is over your left shoulder, black cloak.
Yeah,
50 feet back.
I saw him outside of, or her. God, there's really no telling. Was it a he or she? Could we even tell?
You couldn't tell. No.
Are there a lot of people around us right now?
Yes.
Well, I mean, how do we want to approach it? Do we want to try to lose them, or do we want to take them off into an alley and how do we want to handle it?
I mean, I think it's going to be kind of hard for us to lose them with the big white one.
I guess we are talking in Elven, I hope.
Probably.
Okay. There's plenty of people here that speak Elven, but sure.
We're muttering.
Yeah.
It's
an Elven city. It's fine, guys.
I mean in front of Rogar. If we're talking about Rogar,
oh yeah,
won't be saying.
Occasionally, Rogar comes out and Goblin or whatever.
It's not too bad at stealth.
I mean, if you want to jump them in an alley, that's.
I'm not even sure. Yeah, let's just go ahead and take care of it now. I mean, we have time to kill, people to kill, whatever. And is there an alley nearby that we can see? There
would be several places that you guys wanted to try to lose someone. You could.
Find one where we know that we
Why
aren't.
are we sitting here?
As far as trapping an individual, like trying to fool them, I am going to need a performance check if you guys are trying to deceive someone into a
Ooh.
false sense of security. And it will be made from everyone, not just Zoom.
Awesome.
All right.
Velree, do you know what they said?
Hmm?
Why is no one listening to me? Performance check?
Yes.
Ah.
Oh,
It's a 7 for Rogar. I love it. I mean, it's seems reasonable.
He doesn't know what's going on.
So I
I
don't
know,
understand.
what's going on?
Why are we walking down this alley? You know,
Velree wasn't listening, but I was just staring off.
like it is a dead end. As you guys turn the corner, most of you catching
As he
on.
says that
So it's
in,
like-
Razar's just like,
Tristan is not quite, he's overselling it a little bit.
I was gonna try and like scamper a wall and be ready, for a pounce attack.
So there's no like solid walls. These are like stalls, like tents and stuff. They're like fabric. You're gonna try to climb someone's stall?
Yes.
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 Velree, give me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
I hope it's good.
It's good.
19's good. 19's good. So Velree, you are able to scamper up one of the nearby stalls quickly enough that nobody notices, and also dexterously enough as to not topple it in any way or shift. So you kind of like scamper up to the top of it, waiting near the lip of the alley. And you guys wait for about a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. How long are you guys willing to wait here?
How far behind was he? How many feet?
Why are we in this alley?
A few hundred feet. Appears to be within a distant eye shot.
I say we give it 10 minutes? I don't know.
10 minutes.
I was like, what is going on? Rogar is
Clearly, Zoon and Triss do not know where they're going.
Y'all could keep walking forward and I'll just stay here.
We should have just left
a little
Rogar
bit.
standing there.
No one told me the plan.
Are there any
Went off into a corner and just started standing there.
It's
What'd you
part of
say?
the plan.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Zoom?
are there any tall buildings nearby?
Nothing substantial here within the exchange.
Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and move on to our destination. I mean, at this point, okay, fine. They're tailing us to what end?
After 5 or 10 minutes, no one makes the corner.
Okay. Can we continue on from this way? Are they concerned about?
Sorry about that, Rogar.
Well,
I thought
it's
I
a dead
knew where
end.
I was going.
So
but,
you move back out into the main thoroughway, and you begin to move once again. Trist, when you step out, you don't see your tail anywhere.
Good, he died.
Okay. As you move forward, it takes a decent amount of time, just because there's so much foot traffic within the exchange. There's lots of people. You're having to maneuver through people. Rogar's large. He's a big guy, and so he's pardon me, he's having to like shift and move here. Is like large carts full of goods and stuff are kind of walked by. At one point, you guys end up walking almost in the same direction as a group of soldiers from the garrison that are just a few paces away from all of you. They're walking and muttering to each other about something. Trist, you would hear they're talking about specifically something about the recent murders, but something comes up that you weren't told about before. He said specifically one of the kind of older looking guys nudges them and says, well, you heard right, that They all apparently were from the embassy, from what I understand, in some way, shape, or form. And then they kind of like leave your path as you guys are moving forward. Just a little whisper on the wind. After another hour or so of travel, by this point it's firmly afternoon. You end up at a very unassuming stall. It just looks like a regular stall. Small, with a weathered sign of just a red hourglass, no text adorning it, sitting outside of a heavily curtained door, like aperture.
I turn to Rogar. I give him a very serious look, little finger point. No fighting.
Wrestling's okay.
No promises.
If you see any
What
mob
is this?
members, no fucking fighting.
Okay.
Along the way, as we were walking, Rogar wants to ask Zune and Trist, does this city have an enclave of wizards or a craftsman that might be able to help with this? As I pull out the helm of teleportation.
Forgot all about that.
I don't know if they know or not. But.
Well, wizards, yes. And, just kind of motion around to all the magical lighting everywhere.
It's true.
I mean, yeah, but I don't even know what that is. Like, I don't even know where to, what's it supposed to be? I know you guys were working on it in that cave that we were stuck in for like a month. But
This one sort of had the ability to teleport us.
To teleport, I mean, I have the ability to teleport us. I mean,
it's not a competition zone. I mean, this is you are impressive spellcaster.
No, it wasn't me trying to humble brag, though. Usually I know that's fair. I would.
So it's all like hometown advantage, though.
I can do this.
How is this hunk of metal supposed to teleport anyone?
So some sort of magic inscription, perhaps runic.
Is it like? I'm gonna pull out the little mental.
It could be mechanical. Tristan and I took a hard look at it.
Is it like the telepathy helmet?
You take the telepathy helmet out. You take out a very odd and strange magical item in the middle of the exchange, right outside the red hourglass. It's too late. It has happened. You remove it. Is it like this, Rogar? As you pull it out,
my specialty.
It's very strange, unique item, one might say, as you pull it out, and oddly enough, you could see similarities in the design. Perhaps. However, the particular helm that Rogar has was made specifically from like a samurai's helmet, and it's cobbled together. This was made by a young boy in his secret underground basement, and obviously was not finished. Just needs a little work. However, Zune.
Well, perhaps. And this is
do not know anybody that would meet those specific standards without actually making a formal inquisition.
What about Tristan? What about that bastard?
I mean, Tristan could attempt to fix it at some point.
Well, no, does he know anyone? Because he's from here too. Yeah.
He's not necessarily from here, but he has worked here. And out of your contacts, no one comes immediately to mind.
Yeah.
Very right. Well, look, we've arrived at the red hourglass.
Nice segue. I'm going to put the helmet back up and have renewed interest in it, I guess. Are there any... Does it have any arcane symbols on it or anything? Is it just strictly... Does it just look like a cobbled together samurai helmet?
The one that Rogar has. It looks bizarre and unusual, even by magical item standards.
Whatever you do, don't push this button and this button at the same time, otherwise it'll create an explosion.
That's how they blew themselves up. They know.
That's great.
No.
Good. What about what's her face? Nyarla.
Nyarla?
Have any idea what this is?
No,
Oh, yeah.
she does not.
She's with us, right?
She is. She's been with you the whole time. I know it's hard to imagine. She's so quiet sometimes. So meager.
Yes.
Is
You all know that if you need healing potions, I can't actually make them.
Oh,
Oh, it's been 2 years.
I learned back in Brunwood from the attendant there, but it's just I just haven't had the time. I need the necessary ingredients to do so.
Well, you and I will go shopping for these ingredients, and you will teach me how to make this.
Are you good with herbs and?
I have been learning myself.
You have?
I have.
Oh, well, okay. Just me and you will go then.
We will.
Okay, good.
Nyala, don't be afraid to speak up if you feel like you can participate in the conversation.
Well, I try not to be a burden. I know I weigh you all down often.
I feel like you sometimes have a lot to offer and you just hold back.
Well, okay. What exactly is this place again? And she motions towards the red hourglass.
About to expand your mind.
Seems to be a house of pleasure.
Like, do you eat and drink here? I don't.
Yes.
in some respects, some things. Yeah.
She is wearing the garbs of a holy woman. Her blue robes, the kind of like satchel of a priest, of a attendant of Boel, a priestess of Boel.
Some people are into that.
I'm gonna wait out here, if that's okay.
Is there a temple of Boel here at all, or is
No.
it all based on?
No, there's not.
It's a place of sin.
There's,
No, I meant like in the city. in
no,
general.
there is not.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Of course.
Said.
Yes, a bunch of sinners live in this
Yeah,
place.
exactly.
Hmm.
Den
Not
of sin.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Well, instead of waiting out here by yourself, I think it might be best if you at least wait inside the door, just in case something were to happen. So,
Okay, but
yeah.
okay, I guess.
I will remain with you.
Begrudgingly follows you guys into the
Yes.
red hourglass. I'm assuming Trist is first. Pulls back the flap and almost runs and skips in. As you enter into the room here, you see a very it's not small, but it's not large either. A very unassuming space. Basically just an average-sized room with a range of cushions, chairs, pillows, and a heavy black lacquered wooden desk that kind of dominates the center of the space. The walls all appear to be like these flowing red curtains that are always kind of slightly moving, and everything is lit with almost like these incense like braziers like in the corners. As you move inside, there are several individuals already in here. First off, as you move through the door, there are two large ogres, one on each side of the door, clad in like heavy like plate armor that's been fitted for their bodies. They each have a large club. As they kind of look down at you. Interesting point of note, They're wearing like a mask that covers their eyes. Like complete, and it's black, and it's just matted across their eyes as if they can't see. But their nostrils flare as you pass by them, and they all note your entrance. There are several parties of, it looks like, people just kind of chatting up, individuals. You're not exactly sure who's who in the space, but behind the lacquered desk stands apparently a full drow woman. She is revealing a very tightly fitted dress that is blood red in coloring, and it accentuates her lighter complexion for a full blood drow. What's more interesting is her eyes are red. She has red eyes, very unique, one might say. As she's behind the desk, she looks up, sees all of you. Well, welcome to the Red Hourglass. I am Madam Scarlet. How may I help you?
We are here for, well, let's just say I have some first timers here.
I'm sure that there's plenty of space for you to mosey around. Trist, you would know that there's more that meets the eye to this space. One would need to produce the necessary password to enter the more private section.
Yes. Does it change, or is it always the same?
You can give me a history check.
No, I hope I pass.
I hope you pass as well.
21.
21. You know that it does rotate. However, as you are kind of mulling it over,
it's been a while.
You say cleanliness. And she looks at you. She says, "Oh, I see. Well, right this way then." And she moves away from the desk and walks towards the back wall. As she does so, you guys hear her shifting and moving as the two ogres step in front of the curtain door and just kind of like block it off, the one that leads from outside. She moves towards the wall. Says, "Well, are you coming?"
Yes.
Very well. And she walks through the wall.
Yes. Walk through.
Trist walks through. Who all's going?
Harry Potter style.
Yeah, Zen will walk through, and we'll probably, be like, is there somewhere to sit in this main room?
There's lots of places to sit and chat with lots of individuals that are interested in people and things and stuff. All over the place in here.
Carla might prefer to sit in here, but I don't think she's going to talk to a lot of people.
There's a place to check your coat.
So Trist and Zoom
Rogar's
are
gonna sit
inside.
next to her.
Rogar, you kind of like stand next to Niarla. At one point, almost like a teenage, like half drow kind of walks up to her, and he kind of like looks up at you, like, takes his drink and looks down and walks away at that point. Yes. Razire, Velree, are you entering into the den of cleanliness?
Oh, I don't know. Yes.
Yes, I am a holy man.
Zune went in.
What was that, Velree?
You said Zune went in.
Oh yeah,
right?
Zune went in. You know Zune went in. Come
I
on.
know.
Without hesitation.
There was no
Zune went in.
hesitation.
I don't really want to go in. I'm afraid what if something bad happens? Maybe.
Rogar's out there.
I thought Rogar was standing outside.
Rogar's standing outside with Neil.
Yeah, I meant in the room that they're
Of course,
going.
nothing bad's gonna happen to the casters. They're fine.
I wish they all
Mhm,
run into us.
mhm.
They're fine.
Yeah, nothing
You know,
bad. Uh-huh.
I'm going to reluctantly. I'm gonna look back at Rogar and be like, "Ah, we'll go in, I guess."
And
Go.
Velree steps inside. As you move in, first off, you are immediately, all of you are in a dark hallway, very dark hallway. It is dimly lit around several doorways that are rooms. The walls in here are also curtained, but they're curtained in like a purple, kind of like a material. If you were to look up, you can't tell if there's a roof or not. There's nothing. It looks like you guys are walking on darkness itself, like just black. It feels like carpet, but you're not sure as you're moving forward. And as you begin to walk into this space, you start to hear an assortment of noises, barking, strange strange cries of pain, possibly pleasure. There is as you move forward, there are several doors. The Madam Scarlet stops. Before we go any further, what exactly are we interested in? Just a regular visit, or are we here for the special treatment?
Well, I'm here to see her.
Oh, I see.
I can't speak for the others.
And the rest of you?
Would we have any context at all as to what the hell is happening and what's going on?
Zune, you would recognize that this is no normal pleasure house that Trist has brought you to.
Trist is such a freak.
This is like, this is it is something, I'm not sure if Zune's is been interested in this or not, but it is a interesting endeavor. As you watch, as Zune is she asks you this, she watches from one of the doorways a beautiful half-drow woman comes walking out of the doorway with a chain in her hand and walking on hands and feet on the ground is a drow man with a collar around his neck as she walks him across the hall to the next room, and he is barking like a puppy.
Trist. Okay,
You're falling right into my trap.
I mean, I'm not against this. I don't kink shame. So, well, Velree?
Before we go any further, I'd hate to be presumptuous, but we have had people, not be able to afford the delicacies. Standard fare, 50 gold for a visit. More for the special. Very well, come this way. And she begins to move, walking forward. There are several doors that you're passing by. If you see anyone you like on the way by, I'm bringing you to the specials, but pick one as we move on, and we'll see you in a few hours.
I want to see, do I recognize anyone as I'm walking down?
As you're walking down, Zune, give me a investigation check, Zune.
It's not going to be good. Let's see.
23, natural 20. Whew. Okay, Zune.
You see the head of state.
Here's what you see, Zune. First off, what you did notice when the man was walked by, even the employees are wearing masks of a kind, some way, shape, or form. The patrons appear to also be wearing masks. And all of you would notice at this point that all of you have a mask-like illusion across all of your faces as you pass through the doorway that actively conceal your identity.
That's pretty sweet.
So yeah, it's hard to tell. With a 23, I mean, unless you're looking for like a tattoo on somebody, you're not going to get much, even with a 23.
Well, are there a lot of full drow female down here?
There are a few as you're moving forward. There are a handful. There appear to be mostly working women here, but you do see a few men as you are moving by, as well. Everyone has their speciality, it appears. But as you move deeper down the hallway, no one really piques your interest soon. They'll be the very, very just riffraff. And then you come to an end after this very long hallway. If you were to look back, you wouldn't even be able to see the entrance that you came through. As you get to the end, there are 3 doors ahead of you. The 2 of them open, one on the left, one on the right. The one in the center remains closed. So all the doors are actually like metal doors with like a little looky window in them, has like little bars on it. And the one on the left and the right open up, and 2 individuals step forward. The first one that steps up appears to be a well, let's just introduce them properly, shouldn't we? Madam Scarlet motions to her right, which would be the door on your left. This is Mistress Chaste, as a blue-skinned tiefling walks out, very scantily dressed, female. There is an air of cold about her person. She appears to be wearing undergarments made of ice. As she walks forward and just kind of like begins to stroke her chin. Oh, they look delicious.
Rogar would have loved you.
And then the madam waves to her left, which would be your right, and another individual walks forward. This time, another blue-skinned tiefling. This is Master Bliss. He walks forward, shirtless, of course. He has nipple clamps on, and a very tight-fitted man thong, essentially. There is a pipe in his mouth, and there is a strange-smelling narcotic wafting out of it actively. The twins, yes. You can have them both if you'd like. It's a little expensive, but they play well together sometimes. Or individually. No takers?
I'm going to. So Triss, I'm going to look at Triss and be like, no, Triss got us here. I'm going to look at Zune and Rosiah and be like, are y'all actually going to participate in this?
You're in too deep.
I came as a bodyguard, and now I'm not sure what to do.
I mean, do you want to participate?
I would participate with you, Zune, but, you know.
Rosiah is here to take in the sights, huh?
Okay.
I mean, yes. Rosiah said yes.
You guys are having a small little meeting. Triss is just over there.
Are we doing this? Are we banging?
Triss, she points towards you, Triss, and says, you can just step through the center door. The Mistress Payne awaits you.
Ta-ta.
As Triss steps through the door to Mistress Payne and close behind him.
Oh boy.
What are the rest of you doing?
I want to find my damn sister, but I'm not saying that out loud. But I'm curious. I'm looking for a drow female who maybe carries herself in kind of high regard.
Oh, you don't need to look for any drow female. I'm all the man you'll need. The the tiefling says from the other side. Master Bliss kind of blows a whiff of narcotic smoke in your face.
I'm not against this, and I am tabling this for later, but I do.
He has a tail that kind of wafts out and like begins to stroke your leg as he's just kind of standing in his doorway.
Fuck it.
I'll do it later. Anyone getting in on this, or is it just it's me?
Might be able to get a group discount.
Discount.
Group discount.
What's happening? What is happening
Love
right
it.
now?
Zoom is offering for anyone else to participate. If no one else wants to, that's totally fine.
Totally fine. No pressure.
I'm gonna ask if I'm allowed to just kind of like stand outside the doors and wait.
You can stand in the doors and watch.
If you'd like to watch, there is a small fee.
I just meant, oh god, I just meant stand here and make sure no one's getting hurt. It's like a bodyguard situation. I don't have to look. I can just...
I assure you, the point is being hurt, friend. If you'd like, I could give you a private session.
Oh no, no, thank you. Very sweet.
Of course. Well, are we? If you're not interested, we can always just walk out. It's fine. Your friend is in very good hands.
How long do these sessions last?
That depends.
Zune, are you going in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would be odd for Zoom not to go in there.
It would be very troubling. Soon was like, I'm out of this place.
I was kind of interested in the twin idea. I'm not gonna lie. That's fine.
Well, I mean, we can do that. You down?
We're like,
I'll probably.
we don't tell Rogar this has happened.
We don't tell him this has happened, but he says that.
Desire, you have to join in something because we are not going to have you tell on us.
Or if I know any. But our party is conducting themselves professionally inside there.
Yes, of course. This is all
Rest
business.
assured.
This place is so. I don't know. It seems seedy, and I don't know. I just feel uncomfortable just being in here. Like all these eyes are undressing me.
It does seem that there's an aggressive nature.
Well, big boy, you join in too. The female tiefling grabs a hold of Rosire's neck.
He's a holy man.
Oh, I'm just here to observe.
Oh, they don't call me Mistress Chase for any reason. I've had plenty of holy man in here. I could take care of you real good. You won't even break any of your vows. At least the ones you don't want to.
Well, you know, my vows are somewhat flexible. Oh, sure, why not?
Rosire, Zune, Velree, pulled into a room. I will have to ask, are we going to the cold room or the drug den?
Drug dude.
Okay.
Going
They all get
Listen,
pulled.
Velree has a lot of shit to unpack, so she needs to go.
I'll get pulled into the pleasure den.
Hey, look, Dionysus is a god, and you can be a cleric to him. That's
The madam stands at the doorway as the three of you are kind of pulled in there. The twins, tieflings, are standing there, and the madam says, "Very well. That will be. Let's see here, 600 gold pieces."
Trista's got us.
Very well, Master Varel.
That's
Understood. Enjoy. As the door closes, we will fade away from there because it's about to get crazy in there. Yeah. Meanwhile,
About weeks later.
Trist, you walk in. Trist, your passive perception is a 20, correct?
Yes.
All right. Trist, you walk in. And what's your passive investigation?
24.
You see thin, almost like wire laid across the ground in several places. They look like they are in the form of like loops. The room is very dark.
I will clear my throat very loudly.
You clear your throat. Don't tease me now.
All these traps, really that necessary?
You liked it last time.
Well, this time I'm here on business.
Really? I'm still charging you.
I wouldn't expect nothing less.
Come on. Just take a few steps forward.
I'll take a few steps forward.
Take a few steps forward. Make me a dexterity saving throw, Trist. You can choose to fail if you'd like to.
I failed. 9.
You fail no matter what. You see the things there, and yet you still, like, you move to try to maneuver around them. These two noose-like wires wrap around each foot, Trist, and you are yanked upwards, your feet dangling from the proverbial ceiling you cannot see. You're about 3 feet off the ground, your head is. You're just kind of dangling there with your arms laid down. A sultry figure steps out of the darkness. A full-blooded drow, purplish skin, long black hair braided down her back. There is a very tight-fitting leather straps about her body, all black with purple inlays. Various studs and gems across it. As she moves forward, there is a large, what would be described as a riding crop in her hand, and she takes a few steps forward and places it against your chin and grabs you by your hair and yanks you forward, Trist.
Yes.
So, business now or later?
Been hired to investigate these murders.
You're upside down this whole time.
Yep. I've been here before.
Murders? What murders?
The ones that are happening topside and underground.
I don't know anything about that.
I feel like you gotta know something.
Give me an insight check, Trist.
18.
You can tell she is a wall of all work, no play. However, you see cracks in the foundation, Trist. She's definitely lying right now.
Yeah. Oh, come on, after all we've been through, you're gonna hold out on me.
If you weren't so damn cute.
Yes.
Well, if you must know, there's been whispers about a bunch of people from the embassy getting murdered. Of course, if you knew better, perhaps if you knew more intimately, as she strokes you across the cheek, Trist. They all had connections. Those kinds of connections. With the clan. Somebody's been busy, whoever it is. Everyone's in an uproar. Didn't you see the guards out front? They're afraid we're going to be next.
They connected to Soulbrand or Dreamweaver?
Everyone appears to be affiliated with Clan Dreamweaver.
Do you know how many?
Let's just put it like this. There's only a handful of active clan members above right now. Just enough for them to move their goods. There's 2 dream dealers I know of, and there's a dream master, but he stays hidden most of the time. Do you remember Zunia Halfhand? Or Twitch, perhaps?
Yeah, what about him?
Well, they're the dealers of choice right now. If you're looking for leads, you might want to start there.
See, I always knew you could cooperate.
Oh. I think you will remember our arrangement.
Obviously, I could forget something like that.
What was that, Trist?
What was Crintel's last name?
Granel?
Yeah.
You don't remember?
I didn't write that part down. It was too long. I just
Oh.
wrote down Crintel. Damn it! Just remembrance check.
Remembrance check? It is a complicated name because Andrea picked a complicated name.
That's why I didn't write it down.
I have a hard time pronouncing it. Zaugim? Does that sound right, Andrea? Zaugim? Z-A-U apostrophe G-H-Y-M.
So, is there any news on the Zalgin family? Heard from topside that they're making moves.
I don't want to talk about them.
Told you I'm here to talk business.
That's not the business I want to speak of. You can see that she's getting flustered.
Yes.
Visibly.
Well, what's the business you want to speak of?
This business. And she rips away your clothing and produces a large metal
jacket.
rod. And that is where we are going to move away from Tristan Burrell. Okay.
Nothing
All I
happened.
picture.
Nothing
all I
happened.
picture-
Nothing
all I
happened.
picture
What
is,
was it? What was the safe word? Flugen, flagen, flugen.
Flugen, flagen.
Gonna be an ogre coming in there with a giant, like, rotating
Yes.
device. Yeah. Anyways.
I picture Will Ferrell spitting hot coffee on his assistants.
Yes.
Tris just looking at him like,
Oh God. Well, as we peel away from that, various amounts of drugs are induced by our other party members. So much so that I need Zune, Razire, and Velree to give me wisdom saving throws. I've got to find my rules for the drugs because I don't have to pull them up right now.
I have to re-roll mine.
Go ahead, re-roll it.
Yeah, interesting. Much better.
Much better.
Fine. I will.
You're just assuming that you want to succeed.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I want to succeed. So. It's not good. Oh, whatever. Okay, that's fine. I've already wasted a luck.
All right. So what did we get? 20 for Velree. Okay, because it was a 2. That would have been good.
I got a 19.
19 for Razire and a 13 for Zune. Hold, please. I'm still trying to find these. It's not under that. Did I have it under this? I did. There it is. Sweet. Okay. So, let me see what the DC is for this. All right. Now, I will say, you can willingly fail if you'd like to. Zune doesn't have a choice. Zune failed. The rest of you can choose to pass or fail. It's up to you.
Pass it.
Okay, pass it. Rosire, I'm assuming you're passing on this one. Okay. You guys have been dosed with a highly hallucinogenic substance. So much so that, Zune goes under. Zune kind of eyes roll in the back of his head as the twins are performing for everyone. And Zune is rendered unconscious. The rest of you retain your senses. However, I need each of you to roll me a d6. Six for Rosire. Yes. 2 for Velree. What I get for Zune? You can just tell me. It's not rolling for some reason.
It's not rolling.
There it is.
Unconscious.
A 4. All right, so let's start with Velree. Velree, as you are, this is very, oh my God, this is fitting. Velree, as this is happening, you start to witness as the twins begin to sprout fangs from their mouths and blood begins to drip from their elongated vampiric fangs. Mm-hmm. Shadow begins to coalesce around their bodies and your own, and you are in a den of blood and shadow as all of this is taking place. Very bizarre, and I'm not sure how freaked out you are by it, but
I think I like it.
Velree's into it. You also see that both Zune and Rosire both also grow these fangs. And it began like bleeding. Everyone's bleeding and weird shit starts to happen.
Do I grow? Can I grow my thing? Or
I'm sure yours unnaturally distend anyway, just because of what's going on.
Yeah.
Rosire. Rosire, as this is really starting to get going, Rosire, you've been stripped of your armor at this point. And you watch as the rest of the people in here. So there's 4 other individuals in here, Rosire. You watch as from below the nose, from the nose down, their skin starts to smooth together. Ooh. And then 4 tentacles begin to sprout from the bottoms of their faces.
No.
Their heads become cephalopod-like. And in all these tentacles, they begin reaching out to you, and you freeze in place as this is happening. You're awake. It's almost like you're like an awaking nightmare, Rosire. And Rosire begins to scream in the middle of this. And the twins just chuckle and laugh to each other as this happens. As if it's a normal occurrence. Velree, you watch, is like, it looks like one of the twins is eating Rosire right now. And he's just over there, like freaking the hell out right now. He's having a bad trip. Zune has the worst trip, though. Zune, instead of it just looking like the room, Zune, for a moment, you and the individual in question here that you may or may not have purchased for the next couple hours are intimate for like just a second. And then suddenly he turns around and grabs you by the shoulders and opens his mouth, and it distends and distends and distends like a snake opening wide. And inside his gullet is a landscape of fire and brimstone and blood and death, winged creatures flying around. As he engulfs you, you are suddenly in your most horrible dream. As you walk around, your feet begin to burn as they touch the ground. There is brimstone falling from the sky actively. You watch as there is an assortment of fiendish creatures killing each other in the distance. There is a river of molten blood running through the landscape. Barren mountains, strange-looking spires and cities, and Zune has gotten a glimpse of the 9 hells in person. As that takes place, at the end of this erotic session, Velree and Razire, you will have the poison condition until you take a long rest. Zune will also have the poison condition and 2 levels of exhaustion.
Damn, bro.
Worth it.
It was intense. It was super intense. Razire had a bad trip. Velree's was weird, but I guess
I really
good,
worked
good
some
for
things
her.
out, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
As you come forward from this, Razire, like, oh, mon ami. As you begin to come to, when all of this is happening, you're being cleaned up. The twins have kind of placed you guys together, all kind of like wrapped up next to each other. Well, I guess that's a job well done, sister. Yes, brother, it was. And they walk out the door and leave you in here by yourselves.
They're gonna work some shit out.
3 of you there. Zune wakes up. Ah! Looking full on mental breakdown. Oh, I forgot, Zune. You take 23 points of psychic damage
Jesus.
from your trip to hell that you just took.
Well,
Zune's not doing okay. He wakes up. He was in it, and then he was in it. Yes.
No. Was the squirrel in hell? I'm sorry, I just have to ask.
Was it what?
The squirrel?
Give me a perception check, Zune.
Just, Do I have to roll at disadvantage? Or...
No. It's a
Me
22.
too.
You do in fact see a small squirrel it now has demonic wings upon its back. It clutches a sword that would be like a small dagger, and you watch it fighting like a small creature with like green ears and wings, and they're like having a fight to the death out in the distance nearby.
Doing well for itself. Good.
Proud of it, and I am happy. I was always concerned. That was Velree. That was one hell of a squirrel.
You said what?
That was one hell of a squirrel. It has wings now. It's grown. You picked the strongest squirrel. I didn't know squirrels had fortitude like that.
I'm just gonna like pat Zoo on the head, like, because I don't know what he's talking about.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's with a knife.
You all begin to get dressed. Razire's over there, getting dressed. Razire, you feel like you're slimy where you were being touched, but you're not.
Yes.
It just feels like it.
Oh.
Everyone's getting dressed. Some of you uncomfortable. Some of you doing great, apparently. As the 3 of you walk out the door in your shameful walk,
I'm not ashamed anymore. I feel good.
Velree's feeling good. As you walk out the door, Trist comes stumbling out as well from his own abode. He's pulling his pants on. He's trying to like get it together. A female's hand draped over his shoulder grabs him by the collar and turns him around and pulls him back in for a moment. As she does, Trist is kind of pulled in for a long embrace. Zune, you look around the corner. You see this female making out with Trist, basically, and as their lips pull away, she looks at you, Zune. Granel? And that's where we're going to take our first break.